What up, everybody? As I brush my baby here, yeah, she's really excited about it because she loves this. It's probably one of her favorite things I do for her. Well, that and giving her a bath, which I do that every other week. I would do it every week like she probably wants me to, but if I do that, then her skin's going to get really dried out. But nonetheless, though, I'm going to get on to the topic I want to talk about. There's something that I've been hearing for years now, like several years actually. And it's when people try to justify the prices of modern day games and everything. How they'll always say how games were expensive back in the day too, like with the Super Nintendo and stuff like that. I was around during that time. As a matter of fact, I remember having a summer job, and I would use the money I made from my summer job to go out and get a few of those games. And I gotta tell you, I think that some of these modern day gamers must be smoking some good shit. Or whenever they were getting games back in the day, they were literally trying to find them when they became rare or something, like for real, because they were not that expensive back then. Like for real. It's like, you know how Mario Kart World cost $80? And I'm going to be honest, even $60 for Mario Kart 8 when it first came out, and even Mario Kart 8 Deluxe when it first came out, was a bit steep. You know how much it cost to get Super Mario Kart back on the SNES when it first came out? When it was actually new, when it was actually relevant and everything? $30. Oh yeah, that's all it was. Well, people find that hard to believe, but yes, that really was all it was. Donkey Kong Country, Diddy's Conquest, like in my opinion, the best Donkey Kong Country game ever made. I remember how much that was back in the day. You know how much it was? $40. So, yeah. As a matter of fact, every time I went to the store, I never seen anything much higher than $40. Like the highest games ever were, and this was even a rare occurrence back then. The highest price was literally $50. So, yeah. So again, these people are really just trying to cope when it comes to trying to defend the prices of modern day video games. I'm just going to keep it real on that. They were never that high. They may be that high now because they're rare and hard to find, but they were not that rare. But they were not that expensive back whenever they were actually easy to get a hold of. Oh my gosh, you are so spoiled. You just want me to do this all day long, don't you? Uh, but yeah. So, I mean, and there's other things to take into account, because I know people still will probably say, well, $40 was even a lot back then. Was it really? I'm just saying back then games weren't being released so damn broken that you have to wait several months to finally be able to enjoy it. You know, they weren't being purposely half-assed, so they can abuse it with DLC or microtransactions and things like that. You know, just saying, there's a lot of things to take into account when it's all said and done. You know, since games were actually complete and worked properly back in the day, they were actually worth their asking price. Nowadays, they're not. Yes, Nintendo exclusives may still come out working good and have enough content to justify their price and everything, but at the end of the day, some of them, just because they work good and have a decent amount of content, doesn't mean they're automatically worth their asking price. I'm sorry, but $80 for Mario Kart World is a bit insane. And yes, I know I was one of those suckers that bought it for that much. But still, nonetheless, though, at the end of the day, it wasn't really worth its asking price. It should have been priced at like $60 at best. So, yeah. I love Donkey Kong Bonanza, but yeah, even $70 for it was a bit steep. No, I'm not gonna lie, like, when it's all said and done, Nintendo really should have stuck with their $60 price tags and $50 price tags and things like that. And as far as these games coming out broken, there's no sense in spending full price on them either. I'm just saying, answer me this, anybody who's trying to cope by justifying these prices and everything. Would you go out and spend like $30,000 on a brand new vehicle that needs a shit ton of work done on it? Like for real. No, you wouldn't. Oh, well, they could fix it over time. It doesn't matter. You still wouldn't have gone out and spent that much money on a vehicle unless it worked good right there and then. I don't know why it's expected to be so much different when it comes to gaming. Just saying. That's why I said before that, a gaming crash is never going to happen. I've heard people's points on it, and I get what they're saying and everything. But a second gaming crash is not going to happen because at the end of the day, you have too many. Because gamers nowadays don't have the same level of integrity and self respect and everything as what they had back then. You know, nowadays they'll just support anything. They'll just bend over and take it unlubricated, with anything, like for real. So, yeah. There's no self respect anymore with gamers. There's no integrity. There's none of that. I guarantee, because I even see people trying to justify the rumored price tag for GTA 6. I've seen people literally go out and spend over $150 to get WWE 2K26. Like, it's the same damn game every single year, and I've seen what little bit they added to this year's game, from what we didn't have in last year's game. Oh, they brought an I Quit match. You mean basically a glorified submission match? Because let's be honest, that's really all a I Quit match is, if we're going to be perfectly honest. So, yeah. Inferno match, whatever, like, they didn't really bring enough, though, to warrant as much as these games cost. There's still a lot of fun to be had with 2K25. So, yeah. Again, I'm not going to hate on anybody who spends that much on a game. Do I think they're a little bit wasteful with their money? Yeah. I do. I think they have a little bit too much disposable income that they want to waste on foolishness. Yeah, of course I do. But that's what they want to get, more power to them. But at the end of the day, they are part of the problem. So, yeah. There's games I love and enjoy too, but I'll never go out and spend that much for them. Like, for real. So, yeah. I made the mistake when like I said, I paid $80 for Mario Kart World. And I even paid $70 for Tears of the Kingdom. Never should have done that. Because that was basically them testing the waters anyway whenever they sold Tears of the Kingdom for that price. You're goofy. You are a very goofy girl today, aren't you? Yes, she is. She's a very goofy girl. Stretch your back. I'm going to get your tail. Goofball. You my good girl. You my little sweetheart. But yeah, like I said, people want to support that nonsense, whatever. But like I said, I'm going to vote with my wallet. And the fact of the matter is, the WWE video games have been getting worse and worse every single year when it comes to how bad they're corrupted by corporate greed. It's one thing for DLC packs that are quite frankly too expensive. But it's even worse now that we're pretty much expected to have to pay real life money for microtransactions just to have the chance to get the character we want, the persona character we want, within their gambling system, within the My Faction mode. So, yeah. And let's keep it real. 99% of the best content is locked behind all that crap. So, yeah, well, that might be a bit of a high percentage, but you get what I mean. I would at least say that more than half of the best content is locked behind that gambling system within the My Faction mode. So, yeah. Whatever, man. People want to be suckers. That's on them. We've all had our guilty moments of that. It's whatever, but some are worse than others, I think, when it comes to that. But, yeah. Y'all take care. God bless. Peace.